So I brought you here because I was looking at your essays, and I feel like you're ready to be pushed as writers. The way that I thought I could push you as a writer today is for us to work on our conclusions, okay? And I think you guys have a sense of this, that conclusions in essay can feel either like they're just doing the job, right? Like you get to the end of an essay and it's just sort of like the end, right? Or a conclusion of an essay can feel like you leave the essay feeling even more convinced that that writer is right about the world, okay? We want to study today what it takes to make a conclusion that makes you leave the essay feeling like, wow, that writer knows what they're talking about. The way we're going to try that today is I have a few different conclusions on the same essay all written up, okay? And they all do some different things. What I'd like you guys to do is, can you just start looking at them, reading them, and thinking as a group, which of these conclusions is the strongest to the weakest, okay? Go ahead, and I'll be coaching in and helping you out.
Okay, so let's start with that one that Joseph has.
Okay, so let's get it in a place where you all can kind of look at it.
I want to start. I think that it's kind of strong because it's stating that it states that it's a complicated issue in the beginning, and it talks about how there's just as many reasons to support it and to make it as that smaller businesses should get a chance. And in the end it says that there's always a small business, but if you don't give the small business is better than a big business.
So let's pause there. So what you're saying, Noah, is that this might be strong because it takes a look at both sides of the issue.
Yes.
Right? Is there anything else you guys notice that might make it strong or not so strong?
Well, one thing that it shows that it's strong is that it shows that it's shutting down small businesses and bringing in large change, which is true. From the regular passage, it says that there are going to be more chains of bringing the Brooklyn Nets to New Jersey with the sports art change, and then they have all these restaurants, big chains, and about the
Let me pause here for a second. That's really smart. I think I hear what you're saying, but can you name then what it is that the author's doing that makes that a strong conclusion?
Well, he's showing he was trying to explain the other side of what they're trying to say that it's good, but then he's bringing it down by showing that it really isn't, because they're trying to say that it's going to help small businesses, but it's showing that it's shutting down small businesses to make room.
So you're saying that it could be strong because it's also poking holes at the other argument, right? It's saying the counterclaim. Nice.
I think this should go sort of in the strong category.
In the strong? Okay, well, let's move on to another one. Pick another one to look at. And then what you're deciding is that stronger or weaker?
Should I read it out loud?
Sure, why don't you read it out loud?
This is a complicated issue, and many have agreed powerfully for and against the Barclays Center. Those who say that the stadium will revitalize the economy are mistaken, as most of the money that comes into Brooklyn on game day will be spent in big chain stores and restaurants, not in local establishments. However, many of the people who argue against the stadium miss the mark, as well be arguing only for their personal comforts and ignoring the larger issues. This is not about parking spots. It is about the heart of our community. So I think that they're kind of going through the opposite side. They're kind of siding with the big company because they said that people are saying they want the small companies, but they're saying that it's just for their personal comfort. What about everybody else?
Okay.
Okay, I actually agree with Noah, because they're saying how they want all these big things to help them to adjust to an environment, but then they're also missing what they actually need. They just want something to make it feel natural, but they don't have exactly what they need. So if they wanted something sporty, they don't have that, but they have something to make it feel like it's sporty.
Okay, so again, let's think about A, does that make it stronger or weaker? And what is it about that writing that makes it strong or weak?
I think it's weak.
Yeah.
I think it's
Why do you think that?
Well, the reason why it's weaker is this one it says how it will help the economy, and that it shows that it has the money's going towards the big developers. This one is just saying it will be spent on big chain stores, not the local restaurants. This one's it's like a little more detailed, explaining it better than this one.
So you feel like one reason why this might be stronger than this one is because this one has, first of all, stronger reasons,
Yeah.
it sounds like you're saying?
And it shows both sides, so it's not just like
One-sided or the other?
yeah, it's not
Okay.
it's not like going to one side. And like what I like about it is that it's trying to tell you that it's okay whichever side you choose. There's always a good thing about it.
Okay, okay. So we're saying right now this one is stronger than this one, right?
Yeah, I
Let's
think
do one more. Let's do one more.
Okay. The issue of Barclay Center is one that people disagree on strongly. Just Google the topic and you will find people who are staunchly against the stadium, saying that it causes too many problems, and just as many people saying the stadium will revitalize the economy.
Can I stop you real quick?
Yeah.
I don't like how they said Google.
Okay,
Yeah,
let her
me
finish
neither.
it. Let her finish it. Keep going.
Okay. While there is evidence to support both sides, I still believe that the negatives far outweigh the positives. The stadium may give the impression of bringing money to the area, but in reality, the money all is going to be big businesses that have nothing to do with Brooklyn. Barclay has got to go.
What do you think?
I don't like that it says just Google the topic because like the writer is supposed to make me feel like I'm very like persuaded and convinced and not tell me to just do it on my own.
So
Like it's
you're
their job.
saying that saying just Google the topic sort of puts the work on the writer, not the reader, not the writer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
What do you
like
think,
thing,
Sean?
like when it says Google it, the writer should have Googled it and could have said things about like according to Google, it would like show what Google had to say about the topic and
Like to make it stronger.
yeah, to use other people's views. So use the opposing argument's views of another article
Okay.
and attack why that's wrong and why
Yeah,
that shouldn't be.
That's
I
really smart,
agree.
Sean.
I think
so let's
it's
pause you for a second. Now, where would this go in here then? Is it? It sounds like you're saying it's not as strong as this first one.
Yeah.
Where would you put
But
it?
I think it's weaker than the second one because, at least in this one, it states something that's actually part of the essay.
It has
this,
facts.
Yeah, and this one just really doesn't. In this conclusion, it shows that the writer didn't really put enough like effort into its essay.
Yes, okay, good. So these feel like really, really good ways to make strong conclusions, right? One thing you notice is that the stronger conclusions look at both sides of the issue, right? You also notice that strong conclusions argue against the counterclaim, make sure that it makes that case, right? Not just people disagree, but here's why they're wrong and I'm right. And you also noticed that you make your case and your conclusion a little bit, right? You don't just leave it to, right? Another way that I've seen people do that is instead of say just Google it, I've seen people say, as you can see in this essay. Right? That feels like it's making the reader do the work and not the writer, right? So those feel like three really strong things we can do in our conclusions. If you were to revise your conclusion, which of these would you model yours off of?
This one.
This one?
The
Okay.
strongest one.
So what I'm going to do for now is you're obviously going to be revising your conclusions today. All right? And we want you to model it off of the conclusion that you think is the strongest. And I'm also going to leave this guide here for the things that you guys noticed this one did well that you really like. Okay? So why don't we start with you guys just talking to the person next to you. Can you write in the air and kind of say aloud how you think you might change your conclusion? Okay, turn and talk to them.
That would change my conclusion, and like because my conclusion is really short and it doesn't really. It's like before when you read it, you were kind of confused by that sentence that I wrote about how if smokers want to kill themselves, why not let them? Like I could make that a little more specific and elaborate on that.
And smoke, rethink your decision. But the thing that I could change about that is like how it shows like while Barclays will close, it will never be local. Like I should go like show how it would be a benefit for them, like not really
Beautiful.
benefit,
So let me
but
pause you now, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, Sean. That was awesome. So you guys have a plan. You know how to revise your conclusions. Okay, you're going to go ahead and do that. When you're done with that, you're going to continue with the work of the day. Okay? Really nice work.
Thank you.